future discussion is this is now the second time in a row for this position we're doing it, and I think rightfully so. It's probably worth a discussion of whether this position should be regraded to create a little more flexibility going forward, because you're clearly going to get highly qualified individuals that have likely already had a full-time career elsewhere filling this role. And until this becomes a full-time position, where you may be attracting people with maybe, more junior in their careers and less tenured, I think it's something worth considering again at a future date.
Okay. Any other comments?
Vanessa had her hand up.
Okay,
Vanessa had her hand up.
Sorry, I just wanted to add that I had the occasion last week to talk with our former building commissioner, Mark Robideau, who gave an extremely glowing recommendation of Mr. Novak, and had contacted him just recently for an issue he was having in his current community. So glowing reference.
Okay. All right, I will then move that the Personnel Board approve a starting pay rate for Mr. Novak in the local inspector position at $41.32 per hour. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, further discussion? Seeing none, moving on. Ms. Jasinski.
Aye.
Ms. Jones-Johnson.
Aye.
Mr. Malinowski.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. That is approved unanimously. Okay, next item is the maintenance technician position. There's a request for 3 weeks vacation under section 11B2. We have a memo in the file from John Parent. Do you want to add anything, John?
No, I think it's pretty straightforward. As you have Tim's resume in your packet, he does meet the requirement. His past employment, especially the past 2.5 years, have been in construction. So therefore, he does meet the requirement under Section 2, and he's going to bring a lot to the department. I mean, the carpentry skills, as you probably have noticed around town over the last few years, those are getting exercised a lot more and more by this department. He also comes with a customer service skill. That's huge. A lot of people tend to fail. The customer service is part of what facilities does, and it is day in, day out. We're here to serve the people, make them happy, and it's not always the easiest thing to do. So it's nice to have someone with some official customer service background coming into the position. So I'm feeling quite confident about Tim joining the team.
Okay, thank you. Questions or discussion about this request?
No.
I'll be honest, I'm struggling a little bit. I see the various skill sets, but at least in the past, we've used this for someone that's got kind of continuous experience in some manner. And I think everyone knows what a proponent I am about more vacation in real time. But I think, they would get 3 years at 2 years of service. They get 3 weeks of at 2 years of service. So really what we're doing is we're trying to create a stopgap for these 2 years with this request. I'm struggling a little bit with what I see.
I will say I'm a bit confused by that because he literally meets the requirements set forth in the SAP. Verbatim, he meets the requirement.
I think the requirements are very broad, John. It's not like we have a step checklist and maybe there needs to be something, but he's got 2 years experience in this related field. I understand the other skills, but those skills aren't necessarily in the job description per se. I'm just not seeing it. And we may just have to agree to disagree, but I just, out of respect to, other requests that we have come before us on this, this one didn't meet the bar for me.
By how many
Okay,
years?
and
I got to ask a question because I'm lost.
Okay.
If it's 0 to 2, he has 2 years in carpentry specifically.
That's not what the personnel board said. That's not what the guideline says.
It says prior employment.
That's service to the town of Southborough. Is
Sorry?
0 to 2 years.
That should have been made much more clear in the SAP then.
Say that again, Jason, I missed that.
Oh, the 0 to 2 is the service to the town of Southborough, right? That
Right.
when you're in
With
0
the
to 2
language of
years,
And I had some issues with this just because of the nature of the history. We're used to seeing someone who's been in a prior job for 5 or 6 years. And this individual has moved around in a number of different jobs. So, Vanessa and I had a discussion about that but I think the way, to John's point, I think the way the SP is written, it qualifies in my mind because he does have more than 2 years experience. And so, but I'm open what other people think.
I have no problem with giving him the 3 weeks. He comes with experience and it's really hard right now. We're all having a really hard time with bringing good people and quality people into these roles for a town. And so to give this gentleman 3 weeks of vacation, I seriously don't have a problem with it. If he's good and he's going to add to the team for facilities and he's got customer service, which we all know is very, very valuable, especially today. I wouldn't want to lose him over not giving him an extra week of vacation. So I support this.
Michelle?
Yeah, I do have a question. John, is the reason you brought this forth because this is sort of the deal breaker for your candidate?
I know it was important to him, so I can't tell you what would happen if it does,
Doesn't
if I had a
happen.
crystal ball, I'd be a lot more rich.
Okay.
I would say that we interviewed several other people and, Tim Varney was the only one we felt comfortable bringing forward. So we do not have a strong, Plan B candidate right now.
Mhm. His references were very strong as well.
Yes, they were.
Okay.
All right.
And-
And
I just want to bring my comments full circle. I don't have an issue with the 3 weeks per se. I now may need to rethink what we're going to do with the language we already kind of agreed to for spring. I'm not sure that this sort of history would be, in my opinion, what an employee that should get 4 weeks after 2 years of service, and that's really what we would be doing with this vote. Just so everyone's aware, you'd be giving them 3 weeks now, 4 weeks if our new language goes through at town meeting after 2 years of service. That's where I'm struggling a little bit. Again, I fully understand the recruiting environment, but I do think, unfortunately, personnel board is going to have to re-talk about vacation. Again, it's a delicate needle to thread, but we also need to be fair to our current employees that may or may not have benefited from this in the past and will benefit from it in the future. So I'll leave it at that.
okay. I will then move to grant 3 weeks vacation to Mr. I'm sorry, what is it? No,
Varney?
Oh, but anyway, the new hire in the maintenance technician position. Okay, is there a second?
Second,
Okay, further discussion? None. All right, roll call vote. Mr.
Aye.
Zinsky, Ms. Jones Johnson,
Aye.
Mr. Malinowski.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. It is approved. Thank you, John.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
John, you too.
There is no other business on our agenda for today. Is there a motion to adjourn?
so moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor, Mr. Zinsky,
Aye.
Ms. Jones Johnson,
Aye.
Mr. Malinowski.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. We are adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank you.